Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic edition of the Two Geeks, Two Furious podcast. I'm Zach Berman.
Caleb Berman.
Caleb, what have you been up to lately?
Well, I got the complete James Bond series on DVD, so I've been watching through those.
How many have you watched?
I've watched, Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, and You Only Live Twice. So five of them so far.
Which one's the best?
I probably Goldfinger, but I really dig From Russia with Love.
Cool. Which one's the worst?
The worst? Worst one I've watched so far? I don't know. All the ones I've watched so far are pretty good.
But one of them's got to be the worst.
I don't know. Thunderball was pretty annoying because at the end, they're just fighting underwater for like a solid hour. It's pretty boring. And then You Only Live Twice gets pretty silly because there's ninjas and spaceships swallowing other spaceships, and it's pretty weird. But like, if you are one of the people like I used to be, who's like, oh man, I really dig Skyfall. Man, Skyfall's the bomb. And you haven't seen any of the Sean Connery Bond movies, you're lying to yourself. And you can't appreciate Skyfall unless you've seen those, so you have to go watch those now.
Yeah, I watched most of them when I was a kid. I remember, like, Moonraker's terrible.
Ugh.
How many more until you get that one?
Like 2 or 3, I think. I'm really close.
It's got the guy with the teeth.
Ugh. Is that Roger Moore in that one?
I think so. But yeah, that one, it was their attempt at doing like a science fiction type thing.
Yeah.
Because they're in space pretty much the whole time. God,
it's so... Like, I read the little plot synopsis thing on the back of it when I got it. I'm like, oh, they go to space? That's so dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
It's really dumb.
What else have you been doing?
Well, I finished Hikaru no Go last week. All 191 chapters of the manga, and I don't know what to do with myself anymore. I finished it.
Was it as exciting as a comic about putting stones on a board can be?
Yes, it was. It was the most exciting thing ever. Seriously, learn how to play Go and then read it because it's good.
I'd rather not.
I know.
I had a few issues of that Shonen Jump that had it in there, and it was pretty terrible.
No, it's great.
It was pretty terrible.
It'll make you cry at some parts.
No.
Yes.
Nah, probably not. Yeah. Anyway, you know what I did today?
What did you do?
You know what I did today.
I know.
I got a hedgehog. Dad wasn't too...
No, he was not. He was definitely not happy about it.
But hopefully I won't be here for too much longer. Go get an apartment with someone. But yeah, it's not... It doesn't like me that much yet. I have to hold it for... Like, just trying to hold it, it hisses and, like, puts its spikes up and stuff.
Yeah, you're real pissing it off.
So it makes it hard to
bond
pick it up because it tries to jump at me. They don't bite, though. They just come at you with the spikes. But it usually doesn't roll up into a ball, and once I have it in my hand, it's pretty chill.
Does it, like, roll up in a ball and, like, roll all around the place?
Yeah, and it jumps in the air and then, like, hones in on things. And if it gets loose, there's no catching it. It's got to go fast. That's what they should have said in the Craigslist ad.
Yeah.
They should have said, like, I'm trying to sell this hedgehog. You better respond in the next few days because this thing has got to go fast.
That would have been brilliant.
Did you do anything crazy today? You didn't have school, did you?
Nope, no school.
Me neither.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I got called into work and then I was like, no, it's podcast day. I ain't going in on Tuesdays. But, did you do anything special?
I watched Bond.
That's it?
Yep, I slept in.
Oh, I thought you had a story.
Well, this is just basically a story of how much my mom pisses me off, I guess. Okay, so if she calls me and I don't answer, she will get just so offended or so... Like, I don't know what she thinks is going to happen, but she gets so upset if I don't answer the phone. So she left to go to work today, and right as she left, I got in the shower. And apparently while I was in the shower, she called me to tell me to take the trash cans up. And I didn't answer, so I had a voicemail when I got out of the shower. And I listen to it, and she starts it off with, you should really answer the phone when your mother calls. Like she always does every time I don't answer the phone. So I text her, and I'm surprised I didn't get shit for this, but I said, you know what, you're right. Next time I'll take my phone in the shower with me. # get off my back.
Like, what is it in Breaking Bad where he's like, I'd really just appreciate it if you would climb down out of my ass.
I would love to say that to her.
But yeah, it's like, what if you're taking a shit or taking a shower? Or what if you're having convulsions on the floor and dying?
Or taking a shit and taking a shower
Those
at the same
aren't
time.
good reasons not to
Answer the phone?
I think the third one's what she's afraid of.
Yeah.
She's afraid you're dying.
yeah, that's what she thinks.
While you're sitting at home by yourself, well, with Ethan, and watching TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of video game stories, because you're not a gamer. No. So it'll be interesting to hear what you think about this. There's a game that came out in the 90s on computers called Dungeon Keeper. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those god games, like The Sims, but you're like a demonic entity.
So you're not God, you're...
building dungeons. You keep the dungeons. Dungeon Keeper, that's what it's called.
Ah, there you go.
Dungeon Keeper. And you summon imps as minions, and you can slap them around to get them to do stuff.
Slap them around?
Yeah, you have to mine underground to make more caverns, and then at a certain point, heroes come in, like knights and stuff, and the goal is to make your dungeon so that they can't get through it. So they came up with that one, and a couple years later they came out with Dungeon Keeper 2, which had updated graphics and extra stuff and all this stuff like that, and then they were working on a third one, never came out. It's called Bullfrog Studios or something, the company that made it. And they're owned by EA. And if you know anything, it's that EA, for the past 2 years, has won the worst company in the world.
Really?
Yes, because they have terrible business practices, they're greedy. And so, a few weeks ago, I think, it might have been a couple months ago, they came out with a new Dungeon Keeper for iPhones and tablets called Dungeon Keeper Mobile. It's free. So I told you the goal is to create a dungeon so that the heroes can't get through, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Well, they made it one of those free-to-play games. So you download it for free, and I've seen people boot it up for the first time. They click on their little minion, the imp. They click on the wall to build a tunnel. 4 hours.
4 hours to what?
To dig a little block. And then they click on the other one, click on the block behind it, 24 hours.
Oh my word.
There's some things that take 48 hours. So you mine into the rock to make tunnels, you mine into some rock and it gives you gold, and you use the gold to buy upgrades and buy different things to upgrade your rooms for like traps and stuff like that. And so you use gold for that. But then they have gems. Gems you buy with real money. So you boot up the game for the first time, try to dig a wall, 4 hours.
So it's like in real time almost.
Yeah. So you do that, and then, but you can bypass that. You can play it as fast-paced as you want, as long as you're willing to, and there's an option for like a couple thousand of the gems, $99. There's actually an option to pay $99 on an iPhone game.
God, who would do that?
People are pissed.
So this it takes real time to do this. Like, if you're like the average middle-aged guy with an iPhone, you may as well just not even buy the app, because you're going to be dead by the time you can finish your dungeon.
Yeah, and there's no end to it either. It's basically, they turned it was a really popular computer game. They took that and turned it into Farmville, essentially. So here's where it gets worse. If you look at the ratings, it's got like 4 out of 5 stars on Android.
Who rated it?
Well, here's how it goes. You go on to Metacritic and look. Mm-hmm. It's like a 0.3 or some shit like that. Like, it's that low. People hate it that much. And, well, when you click the rate thing and, well, when you download a game, a window pops up constantly saying, would you like to rate this game?
Yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
That pops up. And there's 2 options. 5 stars, 1 to 4 stars. You click 5-star, it takes you to the App Store, so you can rate it. You click 1 to 4 stars, no rating is pushed, doesn't go to the store at all. It just gives you the option to email them with your complaints.
Alright, so that's why it's only...
So they're screwing people over for their money. They're screwing people into giving the game a good rating so more people will download it and get screwed into... Because it's basically... there's this guy on the internet, Jim Sterling. He runs a show called The Jimquisition, where he talks about games, but he does it... He's like in front of a podium, and he does it as if he's a dictator, and he always ends it with, thank God for me. And so what he refers to it as fee to pay, not free to play, fee to pay. And it's basically, they're screwing you into paying for it, because you want to see what the game has to offer.
Right.
And it's giving you an option. It's just like, for a couple of dollars, you can skip the part with the waiting. And it's even worse. EA's done it with games that you pay for. Dead Space 3, you pay $60 for that game, and then there's a crafting system where you can make new weapons so you can be stronger and stuff like that you can pay money for.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, so you can pay money. So
if you get a game, you should be able to play the fucking game.
Yeah, so they whatchamacallit, they justified it. EA came out and justified the game. And they were like, there's a big mobile market, and we decided that the best way to get this game out there for people to enjoy is to give it that sort of feel. And they're like, it plays just like the other ones, except Farmville, you wait like 5 minutes on some of the stuff. Mm-hmm. From the get-go in Dungeon Keeper, you're waiting 4 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours. And then they came out, they justified the bullshit rating system. They said, no, we're not trying to manipulate the ratings, we're trying to get the best feedback we can. So if you don't like the game, we're giving you the option to tell us about it, but they don't change their mind on anything. And then there's something else, Caleb, that happened in the mobile world this week.
Oh, this Flappy Bird?
Flappy Bird, made by a guy named Dong Nguyen.
Dong Nguyen.
Yeah.
There's a man in this world named Dong Nguyen.
Yeah, from, I think, Vietnam. Mm. And remember the time we were at the Mexican restaurant, and that it was full, and there was that one kid who was playing that stupid game.
Douchebag kid?
Yeah, and every time you get one of the pipes, mm-hmm. It's like, dinner, 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 dinner. Is
that what he was playing?
Yeah, mind-numbing.
Oh, he had a DS.
No, he had a tablet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were in this restaurant this one time, and everyone was trying to eat, and this douchebag kid was playing some game, and he was going, dinner, 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 and, like, everyone in this room is like, hey, that kid needs to freaking mute it, and, like, he was not getting it.
Yeah, there were 5 or 6 people in that room that were trying to come up with subtle ways to tell the kid to shut the fuck up.
But, yeah.
But,
so Flappy Bird,
that game.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And it's like, people will be like, it's similar to this game, it's similar to that game. People claim it's a Jetpack Joyride ripoff. Mm. I was like, that game's fun, though. You know why? Because you get different items, you can upgrade things, there's missions, there's enemies, there's all kinds of stuff in that game. This game, nothing. You tap a bird and make him go through Mario pipes.
Right.
Well, like, Mr. Dong Nguyen, he's tweeted the other day, he's like, I'm taking it off the store, can't do this anymore. And people thought maybe it was a legal thing because he used the Nintendo stuff and he copied other games. Because there's a game that was online way back in the day called Helicopter, mm-hmm. where you clicked on the helicopter to make it go up and you had to navigate it through a tunnel. Turns out it's not that. Nobody said anything involving legal stuff. And then other people thought it was because people hated on it so much. It's a terrible game, but I don't think it's worth, like,
everybody loves it, though.
Like, trashing this guy. Nobody loves it.
Everybody loves it.
It's a freaking fad. But I guess it was just because he found it was too addictive, and that's not the kind of... He didn't want that kind of attention from his games. He just makes them for fun. Mm-hmm. And here's where the interesting thing comes in, Caleb. It's gone. It's off the App Store, Google Play, all those stores.
Right.
People are selling phones with it downloaded. I saw one going for $900, an iPhone, just because it has that game. There was one, somebody was trying to sell it for $9,000.
Oh my word.
$9,000 for a phone with the shittiest mobile game you can think of.
Wait, so I can sell my shitty Android for like a couple $100s?
I don't know if anybody would actually buy it, but...
but people are trying to...
Oh, you can go for it. See if Dad will list it on eBay for you, because they got that eBay store. Their shit sells like hotcakes. And I mean shit.
Yeah.
Most of it's junk nobody wants. But could you imagine being like, man, I didn't get to play this Flappy Bird game when it came out, or maybe you're addicted to it for some reason. It's terrible. I haven't gotten past one pipe. Because I got past one pipe.
Are you serious?
Got past one pipe. It took me a few tries to get used to the controls. Got past the first one, hit the second one, I was like, I'm pretty sure there's nothing else to this game. So it's like, I finally figured out how to get past one. And I can try a few more times to get the hang of getting more of them. But there's nothing. There, you can't upgrade anything. There's no items. There's no missions. There's no reward at the end of it. It just keeps going. It's just trying to get a high score. It's not even... The Atari games are more complicated than this game.
My high score is 6. Pretty impressive, right? Yeah.
Yeah, mine was... I finally hit... I played it again the other day when I heard that it was off the thing. I was like, might as well play it. I hit 3.
Yeah, it's awful. It's the worst.
It's so bad. It's so bad. And they copied the Mario pipes.
Mm-hmm.
And shit like that. But could you imagine paying that much? That's insane. Absolutely insane. It's like we got a copy of freaking E.T. On Atari over there.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like paying thousands of dollars for that. Just something that's completely worthless, unplayable.
Totally shitty.
There's no... It's like, you can play it. You can figure out how to play it and get in the hang of it, and then there's nothing at the end. There's no point.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually reminds me of... Did you ever hear that game Fez?
No.
You play as a little dude in a Fez,
mm-hmm.
who lives in a 2D world, but he gets the Fez, and it allows him to shift things into 3D. And it's an absolutely beautiful game. It's a puzzle platformer type game. And it's made by this guy named Phil Fish.
Phil Fish.
Phil Fish. It's not his real name.
I was about to say, it sounds like a Stan Lee character.
You ever heard of Indie Game, the movie?
No.
It's a movie about indie games.
Oh, really?
It follows 3 people. One who already had their game come out. It was called Braid. It's a time... You manipulate time to solve puzzles, but it's like a Mario-style game.
Right.
So it's his perspective after the game came out, and him dealing with people misinterpreting what the game was supposed to be. Then the guys who made Super Meat Boy, and how the last few months of them making it, and then Phil Fish making Fez. And he's kind of a nutter. He's, like, insane. Like, you feel really bad for him, though, because he's, like, dedicated his... 5 years of his life to making this game, and at some point he's going to a show and he's like, what if somebody's like, what if people don't like it? And he's like, well, or he's like, what if he had issues with his partner trying to make it, legal issues. The guy wanted to leave but wouldn't let him continue to make it, so he goes to a convention to show it, blah 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 blah, and they're like, what happens if you can't finish it, or what happens if nobody likes it? And he's like, I'd kill myself.
Jeez.
And, at first you're like, what? And then you, realize it's this is his life 100%. He's put everything into this game. And if he can't finish it, then what's the point?
Jeez, that is really depressing.
Anyway, Fez came out, perfect 10s across the board.
Good.
And then, there are also people who hated on him, calling him names, death threats, all that stuff. But he took it way personally and started getting way too involved on Twitter with these people. He was working on Fez 2, and one day he was like, Fez 2, I'm not doing it. I'm done with this industry. You all win. And he was like, I'm taking it all to the bank. He had a meltdown. So we had another one of those with Flappy Bird.
Gee, how long ago was this?
A year ago.
Oh, wow.
Phil Fish. He's real weird looking. He's got glasses, I think. I know he has these, huge sideburn, chops.
Yeah. Poor Phil Fish, man.
Yeah. I feel bad for him, but...
Did he make a shit ton of money?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Pretty sure. It's sold so much, and it's on it's on Xbox 360, PS3, PC, I think there might even be one on Mac.
Mm.
So it sold a lot. I played it for a while. It's pretty good. Well, Caleb, you might be disappointed to know there's no sexy news this week.
No sexy news?
No sexy news, but I have a little piece of animal news that I thought was pretty interesting. The headline is, Fred, the police dog, gets fired by police department for being lazy.
He's a dog.
Yeah, it says, Fred is a classic example of good talent gone to waste. The Gulfport, Mississippi Police Department dog had the talent for sniffing out contraband, but he was lazy and too easily distracted. The department had to let Fred go back to his previous owners at Canine Unlimited in Louisiana. Here's what he did. While on duty, Fred could be found playing with a soda can instead of doing the police work he was trained to do. And then it says, well, Fred's...
So, like...
They're talking about him like he's a person.
Yeah, they're talking
It's
about like
great.
he's a person who's just like making a conscious decision not to do his job, but it's a dog.
Well, he kind of was. And then it's, while his tenure ended prematurely, it could have been worse. 3 years ago, the Braidwood Police Department in Illinois had to retire Adam, A-T-O-M, not another human name, after the police canine attacked a suspect who was already in custody. And then...
At least it was a criminal.
Yeah, but wait, Caleb. The Sun-Times reports that Adam also assaulted a police officer. Same team, Adam.
Same team, Adam. Where's this story from? Who wrote this?
Huffington Post.
This is Huffington Post.
Yeah, they have the best stuff, man. But, oh my god. There's a section on Huffington Post, I see it right now, weird sex.
Wow.
That's where we can get our sexy news.
Alright, guys, we may have some sexy news after all, it appears.
Oh, they found 1,000 bodies on a college campus recently.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, well, now I know where to get all our news, Caleb, for sexy news.
There's
Next
literally
week.
a section for it.
Yeah, isn't that... That's very specific. Because they have weird news, and then they have weird sex news.
Like, there's so many of those stories out there that gotta have their own section.
Yeah, like, how do you fire a dog, though? That's what I want to know.
They sent him back to his owners, they said.
Yeah, but I mean, like...
I
wonder if he knows.
They were like, what was his name, Fred?
Yeah, Fred.
Like, come here, Fred. Fred, come in my office, Fred. And they're like, look, Fred, we're sorry, but we're going to have to let you go.
I mean, I don't think they paid the
and
dogs.
Like,
so it's technically slave labor anyway.
Do you think he was heartbroken? Do you think he realized what was happening when they fired him, when they terminated his employment?
He showed me, he's like, look, man, things have been tough at home with my wife. I'm sorry, I've been a little bit out of it. Could you please, I really need this job. She's going to leave me if I lose this job. That sort of thing. Or do you think he just kind of like sniffed his ass and then peed on the floor?
As an act of defiance, he peed on the floor before he left. Before he packed up all his stuff out of his desk and...
Yeah, he like licks his balls and then goes up and they're like, you're fired, buddy. So he's like, oh, I guess that's fine. Licks their face. And then as he walks away, he's like, I licked my balls with that tongue. That's for firing me, bitch. Of course, the pun is intended because he's a dog.
Yeah, I got it.
But I thought it was a weird story because they talk about him like he's a person, not a dog the entire time. Fired for being lazy, and he had great talent that was going to waste.
He's just a dog.
The other one, just like clearly confused, like he knew what he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was so close to being right. He's like, "There's a bad guy. Gotta go get him." And it's like, "No, we already have him arrested." And then the other police officer.
Same team, Adam.
It's like in Pokemon. I get it now. Like, it hurt itself in its confusion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like somebody cast freaking Confuse Ray on it, and he was just like, that guy.
Yeah. Except don't they hit themselves in Pokemon?
Yeah, but same concept. Just like so confused, they just go all over the place.
Yeah.
But, I thought it was pretty great. Anything else that you've been up to at all?
I don't know, I did that musical at my school.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it a train wreck?
It was an absolute train wreck the first day.
Was it better the second day?
Yeah, and it was even better the third day. But, oh, gosh.
Now, was the third day finally great? Because you said better, And it sounds like better
I feel
wouldn't
like
have meant much.
We could have done even better if we'd had one more day, but we lost today because of weather or whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently half an inch of snow shuts down the entire Metroplex.
Yeah, but last night, a girl died.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
Because
Very sad.
It's like, there can be no ice on the road, but a little bit of snow, and they're like, shut it all down, and then there's ice on the road, and it's just people driving all over in the school.
Yeah.
Should have canceled all activities when they looked at the weather.
Yeah.
And then it was closed today, right? I drove around all morning.
Yeah.
When I went to go get the hedgehog. Nothing. Yeah.
The roads were okay today?
Hmm?
How were the roads?
Fine.
Fine?
Yeah, there was ice on the overpass, and that's it.
Apparently it was pretty bad last night, so...
Yeah, our high school. Well, not my high school anymore.
My high
the
school.
one I went to.
Yes.
They always screw up. Like, I remember going to school on days where it's just like people were so late because there were ice on the roads, they didn't close it. And then the next day, they close it, all the ice is gone.
Yeah.
And then last night, UNT closed like 4 hours later than every other college in school. Like, it wasn't until like 11:30 they finally closed things down. I think that was because they heard about the girl and Justin, because that's really, really close.
Yeah.
So, people need to figure out how to work with things in the weather.
Yeah.
Because people are dying. That girl wasn't the only one. There were a lot last night. There were like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Throughout, there was like a guy in Dallas, a few people in Dallas.
Was a firefighter.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yep, last night was a sad night, y'all.
Yeah, it's like, how can we bring this up? I don't want to. We need something.
Yeah, this got sad.
It got real sad.
It got sad up in here.
How about that? Did you see the new Ninja? Did we talk about finally the official look of the Ninja Turtles?
We talked about the costumes, and then the next day after we talked about that, they finally released the official Ninja Turtles. We never talked about it.
Yeah, they're very hit and miss. Generally, pretty good.
I think they look really badass.
I don't like. 2 of them have noses, human noses.
Dude, I don't know what your beef is with the noses.
It's so weird.
They look fine.
It's weird.
That one that you think looks so weird is just the lighting.
Maybe they're soft shell turtles. They have noses.
Well, there you go.
There's the explanation.
I don't know. They look
I just solved it. It's been bothering me for weeks. I couldn't come up with any possible explanation. I'm just going, even if they don't address it in the movie, I'm just going to say soft shell turtles. Because they have.
They look really badass. They have, it's really cool armor, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
They need to make one based off of the show and the comics and stuff.
Okay, those are 2 different things. Very different. Based off the show and the comics and stuff?
Well, it's like show comics, and they share concepts.
Yeah.
But they should go with, like, Technodrome. They can make the Technodrome look all badass.
Well, I don't know, just like the way they look, the look of the Turtles, I'm hoping it's going to be more of a gritty thing, kind of like the comics.
That was only the first, maybe couple years. Actually, it might have just been the first issues. They didn't stay gritty for long, because it was originally just sort of like a parody type thing. Not even a parody, like a satire.
Yes, it's a parody, but it was also, I don't know, it was like a dark type parody, because...
Yeah, like the first one's pretty dark.
Because it was dark, and it was really violent, and it was for a while. Like, it didn't get goofy until the show.
Didn't Splinter kill Shredder? Or try to?
In the first issue, they try and make him kill himself.
Yeah.
They beat him, and they're like, here's his sword, kill yourself, with honor.
Yeah, and then they actually kill what's-his-face at the end. Shredder, right?
Something, I don't remember. I've always wanted to read those.
And there's blood, and they just kill people, like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then, but no, that didn't last long. Because it was supposed to be just a one-off.
Well, yeah, but it didn't get goofy until the show came out.
It was like a pulp... They were making fun of, like, the Pulp Fiction type stuff and those gritty comics and stuff like that. Like Frank Miller.
It was a parody of Frank Miller's Daredevil. Well, parody...
Well, kind of.
I mean, it wasn't really a parody. It was...
It was in the style of...
Yeah.
But
because the people who created Ninja Turtles were big fans of Frank Miller's Daredevil, which you should go read because it's fantastic.
I read that first one.
The
one you have?
Well, yeah, the Guardian Devil, but also...
Not that one, the other one.
I don't know.
What's the first one? Man Without Fear.
Oh, that's what I meant. I didn't mean Guardian Devil. That's Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith did Guardian Devil.
Kevin Smith. We've talked about it before.
Oh, I feel dumb now. I meant Man Without Fear. He did Man Without Fear, not Guardian Devil.
Oh, I need to show you something online. It's Jane Leno's leaving that. Is he on the Tonight Show? Or
Something
the Late
like
Show?
that. Oh, but I did hear that he was leaving and they're moving everything up.
Yeah, they're moving it to the East Coast, so West Coast. Anyway, I'm itching.
Yeah.
I got a rash.
Maybe it's your hedgehog.
Oh yeah, he scraped me. No, I had this before him. Her. It.
It's something.
I'm not gonna put labels.
You don't like labels?
On it. No, it can be whatever it wants to be. Anyway, but okay, so Jane Leno's leaving.
Right.
Kevin Smith showed up on there like 20 times in the past 20 years. And so he's going through like his desk, Jay Leno is, and like a minute and a half in, he like pulls out a freaking bong, like a fancy one. He's like, I swear this isn't mine. Whose is this? And then you hear somebody go, "It's mine, bitch," or something like that. Kevin Smith walks out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Kevin Smith walks out and he's like, gives him a hug, like a really meaningful hug.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna get sad, isn't it? And then he looks at it and he's like, this bowl was packed when I left it here. He's like, you have anything to do with that? And he's like, I don't know. Things just kind of disappear sometimes, you know? And then he leaves.
Wow.
It was the coolest little cameo on a late night show. I'll have to show it to you. It's pretty good. I mean, he's literally there for like 20 seconds.
Nice.
But is
he wearing his jersey he always wears?
He never takes it off.
Well, he's got a bunch of different ones.
He bangs in it.
Oh my God.
He says that all the time.
Has he really said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
He doesn't take his shirt off for anyone. Because he's fat.
Yeah. He's not that bad. I mean, he's not as fat as he makes it seem like he is. He talks about he's like the biggest person on the planet.
He's really not that fat. He doesn't have a fat face. That's the weird thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I can't wait for Tusk.
When is it coming out?
I don't know. But they knew this guy named, like, that worked at Sundance when they first went in, like, 94? 94, yeah. Named, like, Mark Tusk. And they were telling the story because 2 weeks ago was the anniversary of them being at Sundance with Clerks. Mm-hmm. And they were telling the story, and then he keeps talking about Tusk. And he's like, it's so weird talking about Tusk because I just made a movie called Tusk. But we're talking about the guy.
Yeah.
And he mentions that like 4 times. He's like, so weird saying Tusk, but I can't wait for that movie. And then Clerks 3.
That's going to be amazing.
I hope so.
I'm so excited for that.
I love Clerks 2. But, yeah. I don't like Jay Leno. I like Craig Ferguson.
Yeah.
And, are they getting Jimmy Fallon to replace him?
I think so. Like, they're moving all the time slots around, and he's going to get that show, or somebody is, and they're moving,
I think they're giving Leno's show to Fallon, and then Fallon's show to, like, Seth Meyers?
Something. I don't know.
The guy from The Weekend Update.
Oh,
SNL.
yeah, I heard he was getting his own thing, yeah.
So I think that, because I don't know if they're related. I think it's just the same timing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Fallon's moving and then he's taking Fallon's place.
Yeah.
Or what. Or maybe it's completely unrelated.
I don't know, timing works out well.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Jimmy Fallon's alright.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He has a lot of skits on his show, and they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the Breaking Bad parody he did? Joking Bad?
No.
Where instead of meth, it's jokes. And he sells jokes to other, like, comedians.
That seems really stupid.
Yeah, and shit gets real. And then, like, I don't remember what happens, but the shit hits the fan, and he starts being not funny on the show. And then, he's like, you hear somebody go, like, get off the stage, bitch. And it goes out to the crowd, and Aaron Paul's sitting there, and then Bryan Cranston's right next to him, and, he gets booed off the stage, and Bryan Cranston, just random pizza, throws it.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great. I'll have to show you that. It's pretty good. But he does a lot of those skits, and those are pretty good.
Yeah, have you seen the Gadsden Purchase one?
No.
There's, like, this guy in the audience who's, like, obsessed with the Gadsden Purchase, which was, like, this 150-year-old land deal. And he's like, you know, it's a pretty good show so far, but, why haven't you made any jokes about the Gadsden purchase? He's like, he's like, what? Why would I make jokes about the Gadsden purchase? And just they go on, and a bunch of people start arguing about these different treaties and stuff in the audience. It's really dumb and silly and funny.
But then Conan's pretty good. The best thing he does, I think, is he does game reviews, but he's not a gamer.
Yeah.
And he's terrible at them. And he always gives them a score that's like some random number out of some other random number that's lower.
Yeah.
Or just a thing out of a number, or a thing out of a thing. Or he'll be like, I rate this, it's sort of like, and then just goes on some long metaphor that explains nothing about what he thought of the game. It's great. And then Letterman's annoying.
Yeah.
What's his face? Jimmy Kimmel's alright. He's got the guy from the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones who does his announcing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Craig Ferguson, who's great because he just likes hanging out with the other people.
Mm-hmm.
He usually doesn't even talk about the movie or the book or the album, whatever it is they came out with. And I watched one with this young adult author, John Green. I like he does this vlog thing with his brother that he's been doing for years. It started off with calling it Brotherhood 2.0, where they wouldn't say anything face-to-face. They would only, every other day, post a vlog on the internet addressed to each other. Mm-hmm. So they did that for a while. And they just kept it going on. It's been like 6 years. Well, he was on about his book. And you could tell they had like good chemistry. Mm-hmm. Like you could tell that they had met each other before somewhere. And somebody posted they commented underneath the video. They were like, they didn't even talk about the book. And I was like, welcome to the Late Late Show. I still get notifications of people thumbs-upping that comment.
Yeah.
This was in September?
Did you even realize that you were like the top-rated comment on this video?
Yeah, because he gives me notifications all the time. I've got like 50 on this video with freaking... I have the top comment on a Craig Ferguson video for some reason.
Yeah.
Apparently everybody else who watches the video regularly watches Craig Ferguson because they're like, I get what this guy's saying.
Yeah.
He never talks about the movie. Yeah, Craig Ferguson's the shit.
Yeah, he's really funny.
I finally watched How to Train Your Dragon.
It's so great.
Like a month ago.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
Craig Ferguson's in it.
Have you seen the trailer for the new one?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty tight.
Yeah, I liked it. It was way different than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah, I've only seen it once when it was in theaters. I need to watch it again because it's so good.
He loses his leg.
Yeah.
It's a kid's movie.
Right?
It's hardcore.
Yeah.
I don't like the ending. And I don't like the idea of a sequel, but I know there's an entire series of books. And I know it'll end up being good, but like, it's just weird to me. It's like, it's all about like, these dragons are so elusive and they come in the night and they swoop down and he's the first one to train them. And in the end, it's like, everybody knows how to train dragons now! And now all the dragons are friends! And sort of like,
I mean, obviously not all the dragons are friends, that's why there's a sequel.
So I have a feeling some shit's gonna go down.
Like, there's like a trailer for the next one, and like, there's this guy who like can control the dragons, and yeah.
So controlling a dragon is different than
training,
taming and controlling a dragon.
I don't.
Or he like gets in their head and makes them evil.
I don't remember. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I swear that he can like.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
When we go see that movie, because we're gonna go see that movie. We need to go see the Lego movie. Anyway,
I heard it's fantastic. Yeah.
When How to Train Your Dragon first came out, I did buy 2 tickets for it.
You did?
And then went and saw Kick-Ass.
That's great.
Should have gone to see that.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass could have waited.
Yeah, Kick-Ass is alright.
Because it was towards the end of How to Train Your Dragon's run, but Kick-Ass had just come out that weekend. Mm-hmm. But, God, I still haven't seen Kick-Ass 2. I heard it was meh.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it until I read it. But
I had the first few issues of it, and then this was before we had any comic book stores that we knew of that were close by.
Yeah. There's Kick-Ass 3 out right now. My favorite artist draws that series, John Romita Jr.
Oh yeah, Harry Connick.
Yeah, Harry Connick Jr.
In the honest trailer for not Jurassic Park, shit. Independence Day. It goes through, it tells all the actors. Mm-hmm. And it hits Harry Connick Jr. And it goes Michael Bublé Jr.
Bublé.
Michael Bublé Jr.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Those are the best. if you haven't watched them, just look up Honest Trailers by, I think the company's called Screen Junkies, where they piece together their own trailers and get a guy to imitate those, like, in a world, that sort of voice, and narrate them. Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
Pretty funny.
Pretty good. Well, you know what's not good, Caleb?
Right, this is the end?
Unless you have something else to say.
No, not this time, no.
Yeah, me neither. There's not much going on in the world of geekdom right now.
There were new trailers for everything on Super Bowl. Did we talk about that? You probably talked about that last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And that stupid Coke commercial controversy.
I'm not so mad about that, but whatever.
Racist bigots. Anyway. We'll see you guys again next week. I'm Zach Berman.
Caleb Berman.
We are two geeks